It's almost like you want me to give up. Don't make it hard for me to love you. Building up these mountains that I can never move.
Desire the beat.
Yeah, wrote this shit while I'm rolling sativa. Really ain't my job to make niggas believers. You niggas faking hoes, I just call you Medea. All my rhymes fetty, don't want them a seeker. All I need is vibes and I'm blowing the sim. Really did that shit, I made it out the trench. Now I'm star 5, nigga made it out the bench. Hard to read like niggas texting behind the tent. Hey, feel like I'm floating on this motherfucker. 30 years alive and I ain't never ducking. Niggas think I lost and now I'm up to something. I see these niggas dropping salt like the winter coming. Tell them white folks we need them reparations. They ain't never seen a nigga brain separating. Steady living in poverty, self-medicating. Just had to get it out the mud and nip dedication. Hey, now I think it's time to double up. She just broke up with her nigga, about to fuck it up. Hey, I'm finna turn up for the city, huh? Too many RPs really got the city numb. Too many visionaries laying in sleep at cemeteries. Too many Cubans, white niggas get shot in February. I ain't gon' get that one. It's all good though. Run it back. They got to run that one back, bro. Yeah. I got the whole gang in here, bro. KC, nigga.
Desire the
Let me
beat.
tell you something. Hey, I need 500 million like Patty Mahomes. I go to any city and make it my home. My heart a little bit out of shape, come on, they garçon to feel a little better when I'm dripping, sweating Dior cologne. Hey, never said that I'm the best rapper. Then y'all fucked around and let this shit happen. Fettuccine in front of me with the chicken blackened. Jump stupid, my niggas will leave you acrobatic. Hey, type of nigga that's easy to love. Damo, that's my nigga, he closer than blood. Nigga was my dog on up by cuz. Bro started acting, we was tighter than gloves. Hey, a real nigga and I ain't playing. I look just like Phil, ask my Uncle Damon, nigga.
You know I'm talking about this nigga just like his daddy. I'm talking about every inch from head to toe. I'm talking about this nigga just look like just like his daddy. Philip, love you, bro. We got you. Your son gonna take over. I'm telling you what I'm talking about. I've been saying it for years. He got it. Love you, bro. Thank you.
Check. Yeah. Check. Yeah. Niggas think they got away, but feds just building cases. We leveled up and now your mans is pointing out your faces. You can never rat and didn't expect to be in my good graces. But
Because if you ain't the bloodline.
What up? TTE Talks in the building, TTESPN, here on this good Wednesday where we are locking in. Myself, Vita, Soisauce in the building. Let's get into it. It has been a tiring day, which is my favorite part of the day. Finish this day off halfway through the week. How's it going with you on that side, Soy?
Man, I feel like it's been just like you, bro. I feel like it's been a long day. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like it's been a long day. I feel like the week is going by quick, but the day itself just feels like, bruh.
Yeah. I've had my work days have been so like doing nothing that like I'm really in there for like 2 hours moving around. Then the rest I'm just sitting at my desk doing nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like literally doing nothing. And I'm just kind of just waiting for people to call for me or something. So I'm like, oh shoot, let me it's been slow. I'd be like, man, I wish I had a system over here to play. I just do all my gaming at work. That's why I'm trying to get something figured out and set up now so that we could be able to do that, man. But yeah, it's definitely been one of those for the week. Tried a kettlebell workout.
Oh, how was
People,
that?
yeah, it was different. Like, that first set with the kettlebell, you like, oh, I don't really, you know what I'm saying? You just get through it, but then you get to 2, 3, and you like, oh, nah. And then I actually tried out goblet squats because I was working out at work, so it's limited what things you can do in there. They got a decent, they got the dumbbells and stuff to satisfy upper body, but lower body there's nothing. So I was like, all right, let me try it out. Man, people who consistently do that deserve all the progress they get. For real.
It wasn't doesn't sound like it was a popular one for you.
Nah, I'll send you the video, the one I did. Um, It is probably more the direction I need to personally go working out, movement stuff, getting away from weights for a while. Cause I know myself if I go in and lift, I'll try to avoid like cardio, especially when I have to work out at work and I don't want to get up in the morning, just being lazy. So then I'm like, nah, let me get up and go get my full workout in, lock in, so that I can get it all in. And so when I'm at work, I can actually start to use a lot of this downtime to do other stuff. Usually I'm just really, doing all my football stuff, watching videos, all that. So I get a lot of time to do that at the gig.
I ain't gonna lie to you, man. I've been intentional about staying away from heavy weights starting this week, last
Yeah.
week too. But like, I'm more so just like daily function movements. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
fundamental movements.
Yeah.
Trying to do more lunges and stuff. But
Yeah. Now I'll send you the workout I did, and it was, for those, it's mostly rounds, like 4 or 5 simple workouts. Do them, take a break, other side. Then you just, you do it 3, 4, 5, 6 rounds, however you can, move yourself. So I'm definitely like, yeah, I liked it. It was good. I'm just like, oh shoot, yeah, like I'll be consistent with that or aim to be consistent with that discipline. Let's be disciplined with it. But really I need to get up early like I'm supposed to, go to the gym so then I can go and be at work and be cool.
I
And
feel it.
so
I feel it.
all right. Bad Blood. Let's go ahead and talk the Bad Blood card for WWE happening this weekend before we get into anything, man. Before we get into all NFL, let's go ahead and hop on the Bad Blood card. Beginning of the
Oh,
year, Raw will be going to Netflix, so it is pretty impressive to me that Peacock has been able to lock down the PLE events. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Which I
that's
told you that was
clutch.
the only, yeah, that was the only reason I told you I watched WrestleMania 40 because Sepha was like, "Yo, WrestleMania is on Peacock," and I'm like, "Oh, I'm at work. I got Peacock. I could watch it." And so it definitely was the reason why I got back into it. Cause like, oh, I could just watch it this way. So Bad Blood card. What are your thoughts on it going into it?
Oh man, there's. I think they did a really good job of building this PLE, especially since it's not one of the more known ones, right? It's
Yeah,
not the big three, but it's also not one of the ones that like people look at too often. But
I
opening
kept
match,
seeing
man.
people spam full bloodline battle. Like they wanted a full OG bloodline and I'm like, yo, I think people are like you said it with Triple H, like in the beginning, he's done a very good job early, like you said, finishing stories with long-term storytelling. So I was like, yo, just because Bad Blood maybe again, I'm just getting back into it,
Yeah,
WrestleMania 40. Like just because they might have had, 6, 8 man matches before doesn't mean that has to be the outline of what they
yeah.
do at every Bad Blood.
Plus, I
Like,
mean, we still got Survivor Series coming up, which
yeah,
which where they have war games typically.
yeah,
But I mean, like, we ain't gonna have it at Bad Blood, man. He just came back a couple weeks ago.
yeah. I feel like people are trying to rush the whole Roman, people just they can't hold their water. They just want to
Yeah,
rush every story and everything. I will say this, um Kevin and Randy ain't wrong for being mad at mad at Cody for teaming up with Roman.
no, not at all. And I
I
think
feel
that's
like
planting a seed to get Cody away from the bloodline stuff.
that is
Like
that
that to
like
me is what it's doing.
no, no, no. And I can see that, especially with the last match, how Cody interfered and caused them to lose. You know what I'm saying? So nah, I'm definitely like, I think people wanted them to heel turn and just be upset and mad and just beat up Cody, but like, nah, this is the planning of the seed of like, dude, we've been helping you fight this dude the whole time. And the moment he come back, you join teams with him, like we ain't been here with you the whole time.
Yeah, yeah,
So yeah, I definitely understand how. Randy and Kevin, I feel like now they have a justifiable path to, if not say turn on Cody or make like a heel turn, but be like, nah, like I feel like Cody's trying to be the good guy to everybody, and you can't be the good guy to everybody because that's
Yeah.
gonna eventually, like you have to eventually, he's being the baby face, I guess. So you have to eventually, like, you're gonna make some people upset because you can't please everybody.
Yeah.
So
Plus, I
Nia
mean,
Jax,
like you said, it's not turning them heel. It's good guy, fundamentals here versus good
yeah,
guy fundamentals here.
yeah,
Figure it out, because I don't think Randy has it in him to be a heel anymore with where he's at in his career.
yeah, me neither. And like you said before, Kevin was kind of cool, like with where he's at, or he seems cool with like not having to have the title pressure, just
Yeah.
showing up, making his pushes where he has to. Bailey and Nia are gonna fight. I don't feel like they really know. I feel like they wanted to get the title off of Bailey. I don't feel like they know exactly what they want to do with it with Nia having the title and Tiff still carrying the money in the bank stuff, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know what's gonna happen there. I don't think Bailey's gonna win that match though.
I don't think so either. I think this is like this will be the start of Tiffy starting to turn on Nia. I don't know if that means
Yeah,
she turns face or what it is, but I think they're gonna keep it on Nia at least until right before WrestleMania, because I think you got Charlotte Flair coming back soon,
yeah.
and I think that's the match that they're looking at is Charlotte and Nia.
Nobody captivates a crowd off of silence like Seth Rollins.
Man,
Like how he came up with Bronson and just stood there, and the crowd just go like he don't have to move or say nothing. And when when Seth shows up, the building explodes, man.
no music either. He ain't had no music. He just came out,
Nothing. Yep,
curb stomp Bronson
yep,
Reed, and then just stood there.
stood there. Yep. Big
Everybody
ups to
singing
what
this
they're
song.
doing. Yeah, big ups to what they're doing with Bronson and Strowman, man, getting usage out of their. Like you said, I feel like people who just end up getting beat up all the time. Like you make it like you're making them intentional in this gap period while you're trying to grow talent. I do feel like some NXT people eventually got to pop up,
Yeah, yeah,
like
yeah.
Trick Williams. I feel like eventually he has to move up.
I
Some of
think
the
he just won the title back,
yeah,
but I think the dude he won it off of will make his way to the main roster before Trick does.
Hendry he been MIA a little bit lately, right?
Oh
Like
yeah, yeah, Joe Hendry. That's that TNA thing to where he's, you know what I mean? They're trying to figure out you're a TNA guy, but how do we
yeah,
use you over here as frequently as we can?
yeah.
But
Women like especially the NXT show last night. I just seen a lot of WWE roster people over there. It's like they're starting to mix and mingle. They did say that somebody popped up in NXT. I don't know who has a pretty history with Cody, and they was like, "Yo, man, if you want to get away from some of this stuff, there's this dude that just kind of popped back up, and you should probably deal with him for a little bit." So yeah, the other battle, Liv and Rhea. I don't think Liv's coming off that title.
yeah, I don't know. I mean, you do eventually have to give that title back to Rhea just because she technically didn't lose it.
Yeah,
But I don't know. I feel like if Liv comes off that title, the Judgment Day story got to finish, right? They got to move on to something else.
yeah.
And maybe that's where you insert the Wyatt Six to have some sort of feud with the Judgment Day.
I seen the clip that they previewed the next people.
Yeah,
They was like, yeah. So I was like, who's next? Who's the next one on the list that they're trying to get to?
yeah. And I mean the way they went about it with Gabe, you know what I mean? With
Yeah,
the American Made, with those guys, with how that turned out. I think I could see them coming after Finn in the same way. Like, okay, you
yeah,
turned on your family,
yeah,
but we'll see. I don't know. I like Rhea to take it just because I feel like at this PLE there has to be a title change somewhere, and there's only what 2 titles on the line.
yeah, yeah. You're right.
That might be the
Um,
one.
the tag match: Solo and Jacob, Cody and Roman. Is Jim? People think Jimmy's gonna return to interfere. to help Roman. People are still trying to force Jay back to Roman, but I feel like Jay keeps communicating like this dude made my stuff harder. Like he made it harder for
Yeah,
me to get there. So
yeah,
I think it's definitely going to be a Roman having to go to Jay instead of a Jay just running to help Roman type deal.
I agree. I agree for sure. I don't know how they're gonna find a way to do it, but I think they'll find a way to do it. But it's gonna take a lot of Roman asking, like you said, Roman going to Jay and being like, "Yo." Plus, I mean, we could see the debut of Tama Tonga and Tongaloa's brother Hikuleo coming in.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Speaking of that, just seen somebody post a note today. Uh, Judgment Day has had the tag titles for 100 days and only one title defense. Yeah.
Yep.
And so that's been a problem. And you said that's kind of a problem is having the titles and doing nothing with them. So I'm definitely interested. I do feel like a tide is going to turn here, especially with some of the events coming up, Royal Rumble and other stuff happening, Netflix change at the top of the year. So I feel like this is going to set a good path for where they're headed. So
Yeah. I seen that they're teasing the Viking Raiders coming back too.
the Viking
Um,
Raiders.
yeah. So Ivar and they've been hurt. Big dudes.
Okay.
They could move. Light on their feet. They were having a big push until both of them got hurt. Like tore
Okay.
their ACL, the
All
knee
right.
injuries. They're teasing that's like that little tease that they keep doing with the little
Yeah.
fire thing. The Viking
Okay.
Raiders. So
Okay.
hopefully that gives us some sort of like, all right, they could come back and contend for the titles because they was there was a big draw. I like watching their matches. Big dudes that can move.
There was a moment in Roman's second return on SmackDown when he got past Loa and Tamatonga, and he sat at the ring for a second, and him and Solo kind of stared at each other.
Mhm.
And I was like, that was like for me, that was more like a compassionate, like we ain't got to do this type thing.
Yeah,
Oh, but they both like because Solo, he said it like, hey, if he has it, we gotta acknowledge him. You know
yeah.
what I'm
If
saying?
he takes it,
Yeah, like if he takes it, we got it. So like Solo's just like, no, I'm living by the rules we've always, that's been put in place. And Roman is like, I know the rules, but I like also know what has to happen in this process of going through with this. And it almost looks like he's trying to take the anti-course with Solo, or was wanting to prevent that he had to go through with Jay.
yeah, yeah.
So I'm definitely be, I done went back, watched enough. So yeah, I'll definitely be locked in, ready to watch this, ready to watch Bad Blood and see how this goes. All right. Week 4 review. Anything? Talk to me about your Eagles first. Going into the week 4, how did you feel about them? Where are you at with the Eagles?
Um, I'm disappointed, but I'm not surprised. Right?
Yeah,
Disappointed, not surprised. Um, Last year we ended terribly the last couple of weeks. This year I prefer us to start like this. Right? I prefer
yeah,
it. One of the biggest red flags for me is going to continue to be the defense. Vic Fangio and his ability to evolve
yeah,
in the game, right? Like they were throwing bubble screens, they were throwing quick throws, quick slants all game because that's what you were giving them, and
yeah,
they lived off that. And Baker grew and he started to get some momentum. Those receivers started to get some momentum. So that's one thing that has to change for me. And then the second thing is just Jalen Hurts, man. Jalen Hurts decision making.
yeah.
Like his average throw is 32nd in the league of all the quarterbacks. 3 seconds to throw the ball. 3 seconds. 3 seconds. We talk about quarterbacks that spend 2.5 seconds in the pocket, always getting sacked. This man
Yeah,
is throwing the ball in 3 seconds. That to me just screamed like you're leading the league in turnovers over the last couple of years.
yeah,
26 interceptions or fumbles. That he got to clean that up. I understand. Yes, you don't have the talent. You don't have the roster that obviously we were all going head over heels for coming into the season.
yeah,
But you're also showing that you're not an elite quarterback like Patrick Mahomes. You're not in that upper echelon like Josh Allen, like
yeah,
Lamar Jackson, right? Because regardless of who Pat has, he's going to get it done.
yeah,
We've now seen, regardless of who Josh has, he's going to get it done.
yeah,
Lamar Jackson shows us year in and year out, regardless of who he has, he's gonna get it done.
Yeah.
Jalen Hurts, and I think is almost putting himself in that position to where you're almost falling into that second to third tier of quarterback now.
Yeah. Yeah. I think he's definitely second. I don't want to say third yet, but I think he's definitely separated himself from being like, hey man, this elite level we saw from you, that wasn't the consistent. That was the high end of who you are. So yeah, I definitely Jalen. I think Jalen has a lot of growing that he had. Well, I don't want to say growing, because at this point, like most quarterbacks are just who they are gonna be when you get this far into it. So hopefully he can tighten up on the turnovers and be
Yeah,
more efficient there. Said
yeah,
Lee, I feel like he leaves so much money on the field,
yeah.
and it's causing it's making games more difficult.
Like we've
So
officially seen the good, bad, and ugly with Jalen.
yeah,
So
yeah,
now it's just we know what the good looks like. That's Super Bowl. Super
yeah,
Bowl historic performance. You put up numbers that whole year. You did what you did. We saw the poor. We saw the ugly, which is obviously the last 2 years in taking care of the ball.
yep,
Now show us what we can expect week in and week out.
yep. Like half of the people who was our projected starters are injured. So this team is maxed out on the things they could do defensively. Our defensive coordinator is an aggressive dude. He's very conservative, and that's just not what you want to do against the Bengals. But the Panthers had opportunity game, drive all the way down, 4th and goal, we get stopped. The situational football, the Bengals scored before halftime, scored right again when they came out, 28-14. After that, the Panthers did get a couple third downs. Complaints that I can say, you know what, these are stuff that's within y'all control, that if y'all clean up, the game could have been better, could have been closer. But one thing I know for a fact from this team is we got a good O-line, and Canellas has shown me that he's getting more prepared every week. So that's why I'm like, okay, those two things I know can travel. This defense cannot travel. But it's also like some of the teams we're playing are still young after the Bengals are younger teams who are going through their struggle themselves. So it's like we might be able to find some success here soon, like on the defensive side, that'll probably help. But injuries, like with Bryce being benched, my frustration was a lot of he wants to win games for a lot of the veteran guys, and now a lot of those veteran guys are getting injured. And now a lot of the younger guys are gonna get playing time. So now we get to actually see some of these people that we hope are building blocks or can at least be stable on the roster get a chance to play. So I felt pretty good leaving that game because it solidified things that I felt over the first 3 games of the year. Was like, we got a good O line in Canellis. He's getting better every week. And as long as those two things are going to be the consistent, the team will be closer in the games. Just hopefully, like the Raiders, maybe we'll still a game when everything clicks here and there.
Yeah.
So, uh, anything that stuck out to you in week 4?
Man, I think you said it in the chat, bro. Like, what is going on what is going on in the NFL this year?
Yeah.
Like, passing yards is down, passing touchdowns is down. Um, I don't know if it's just they're taking a couple more weeks than they normally would to hit some sort of stride or hit some sort of, consistency, but when you got the Vikings 4-0, uh the Steelers, I think we expected them to be what they are, but the Commanders 3-1, 42-14 against the Cardinals, I expected that game to be completely different.
Yeah, no, me too. I thought it would definitely be closer, and I took the Cardinals to win it because I thought they was going to handle business at home. But yeah,
The
said
Lions
Chargers.
42-29 on the Seahawks, like,
So the Lion Seahawks game to me was the DK fumble. Was a swing. It kind of gave them the gap, and then after that, it just felt like the Seahawks couldn't close the gap. But the DK fumble that turned into points was just like that was kind of the one play that I was like, if they keep that one, this game might be a little more different towards the end.
yeah.
But yeah, Miami 1-3 without Tua. And they got 2 more weeks before he comes back. What are they gonna do? Are they gonna hit the panic button, or are they gonna be like, we're just gonna see it through to the end and just still run with this roster in the next year because they're dealing with injury stuff. Chargers up 10-0 on the Chiefs and gave them the runway to come back to win that game.
Every
Uh,
team does this against the Chiefs, and I don't know why. I don't know why. Every
Yeah.
team gets up on the Chiefs, and then they decide to get pretty and throw the ball.
Yeah.
Like you got J.K. Dobbins, who's broken out the first 3 games of the year. He had a slow game last year or last game because of situational football. But then you start throwing the ball. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
Why? Same thing with the Ravens last year in the playoffs. You got the number one run offense, and you're forcing Lamar to throw the ball. Why?
Yep.
It's 2nd and 5. You don't need to take a shot.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I think just some people are just outsmarting themselves right now. I think that's part of it, and I think the shortened preseason, I think that stuff's catching up. Like I think that stuff is catching up because instead of having 4 games, you have 3 games, and you are trying to evaluate the back end of the roster to see who can stay and who can go. And at this point, it's like, man, hell no, let me just get my 52 together,
hmm
and the rest of y'all just figure it. Like y'all gonna be practice squad dudes anyway. We'll double back and get one of y'all if we need to. Like at that point, I think that needs to be the mentality. Like we already know these teams ain't built for depth. You know what I'm saying? The
yeah,
moment somebody go down, it's a wrap. So I might as well just focus on the dudes who I know I
and,
have to compete with.
and they know going into week 1 who they want. Like Puka's brother had that 99-yard or field goal return,
Yeah,
and he still ain't make a roster. So it's like, what you're asking these dudes to go out there and show out
yeah.
potentially for another team, but every team really knows who their 53 is, and then
That's
they
what I'm
know
saying.
what 10 or 14 they want to take to the practice squad. So it's like, don't even waste the time, man. Get your guys in there,
Yeah,
get reps, and get
yeah.
what you
I-
need
and I
done.
do, I do understand the health part, like just making sure you get to there healthy. Like I definitely get that part. So I understand when coaches take joint practices more seriously and all that too. But I do think the shortened preseason and the schedule of it is causing a lot of these teams to start slower. And I also think defenses have, as a collective, just been like, you know what, forget the big plays. Y'all gonna have to work your way down the field. So, Falcons get a dub, no offensive touchdowns. Young Hoku clutches up at the end. They're sitting pretty now at 500, where said now they got a little bit of breathing room. They got a Thursday night game against the Bucks coming up. The Bears being able to pull that game out against the Rams, and I end up going back changing my pick because I was like, I think the defense is gonna hold up. Jacksonville was up on the Texans. Jacksonville was up. Um, I wouldn't have known that by the response that I saw from Jacksonville people. I was like, dang, are y'all not down that bad, are you? Y'all was up with 2 minutes left. So that one was surprising. The Colts pulled it over the Steelers. We took the Colts to win. AR getting hurt and stuff. And somebody brought up a good point. AR got hurt, came back into the game, and then the first play call was a QB run. So protecting AR from himself, I think Shane is gonna need to prioritize that. The hell is going on with the Broncos beating Tampa and the Jets back-to-back weeks?
You know, no idea, man. And they did it, and Bo Nix had like -7 passing yards.
Yeah, in the first half, the brother's been bad.
So
So
I don't know what to make of it. Like the Broncos are now one of those teams that in college football you refer to as a trap game, right?
yeah,
Like that's just your trap game every week now. Like you
and
look at the
there's
lineup
like
and say the Broncos should lose this game fundamentally.
yeah. So I feel like the Broncos and the Cardinals are opposite. I feel like the Broncos, like Sean Payton does, he finds a way. He's like, yo, this isn't the team that I want, but I know what I need to do to get this team to win. And I feel like the Cardinals are like, we're playing for the team that we want down the line. So we're gonna just use all of this as game time, prep time, practice time, on
Yep.
film time, and we're not gonna big body with James Conner and all these dudes and just find a way to win games. We're gonna put everything on film that we want to figure out later down the line of how it works and how to adjust. I feel like some teams are finding their version of themselves that they're trying to survive with to win games, and other teams are trying to propel themselves, like the Patriots. I think the Patriots are like, hey, we can be competitive in games, but we are lacking in areas. And I would hope that at that point too, they would just, be like, hey, protect Drake May. Don't put that man in that mess.
Yeah. Yeah.
We talked about it last week. Loser of the Browns Raiders game loses a receiver, but Raiders won and still is losing a receiver.
Yep.
So that's funny. I still think Cooper's gone because they converted his contract. So
I saw Dallas was inquiring about bringing him back.
yeah. So with with Adams, there's two thoughts. The Raiders got a lot of cap space, so they could still keep his money on the roster if somebody gives up a higher pick. But the problem is the teams that want him, they ain't trying to give up that pick.
Yeah. I think it's the Jets and the Saints right now.
Yeah. And it was rumored, which is crazy, he only wants to play with a quarterback he's played with before. So big ups to Derek Carr for earning that respect from Adams. If he's like, I just want to play with you or Aaron, I don't want to do this again.
So I saw a
So
lot of people yelling the Commanders too, which
I
I
think
mean
people's
I
falling
get
in
it,
love with the
but
Jaden factor. I think people just fall in love with the Jaden Daniels factor. I just think that's a slave of the moment pick.
yeah.
I that's what I think that is. I think it really is the Jets or the Saints, and I think that's all.
I think Amari Cooper for me, two realistic places that he could end up is, I mean, Dallas aside, right? Two
Yeah.
places that I could see Amari Cooper landing is either Buffalo or I'd love to see him in Green Bay.
I think it's Detroit is an option. Or
Detroit,
for
I can see
Cooper,
that.
I can also see KC.
Oh,
Yeah, I feel like Cooper will come here and get Sammy Watkins usage.
damn.
So yeah. All right. Let's let's do power rankings at the end.
Okay.
We'll finish with power rankings because I don't want us to do power rankings and then go through our week 5 review and be like, man, this kind of sounds bad that we did power rankings after we did picks. I feel like it might be safer to go through our week 5 picks first and to see what's going on. So 1 second. What
Let
the heck?
me see if I can get the notepad up at least ready for that for when we get to there. Got it. Any surprise performances going from last week? Just off the top of your head while you multitask?
Surprise performances. Definitely the Vikings going into Green Bay. Definitely the Vikings going into Green Bay. They just seem clean right now. Like they just seem clean and running on like efficient. Um, I know some people might. I was not shocked at how Baltimore did Buffalo.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I was not shocked at how that happened. Um, Another performance that I found shocking. Keep it real with you, the Dolphins. Because I think it's only further in the case that both Tua is good, that Mike McDaniels is good, but then it's also like I think that is we talk about the perfect pairing that's Harden and D'Antoni. That's like you two are perfect for each other, and right now we know where that ends. And like we're gonna have to figure that out down the line for y'all too. So I am a little like I know playing on second, third, fourth string backup quarterbacks for any team can be difficult, but I was shocked that Tyler Huntley looked so dookie. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? I was like, yo,
He
brother.
he
Like I know
was
you just got there, but brother.
he was such a serviceable backup for Lamar that you expect. Like he took them to the playoffs. Like,
But
and he
that's when I'm like,
made it competitive.
yeah, I was like, yo, but he's been there, he knows situation, this and that, like cool. So I was just like, but then when he was doing all the stuff that McDaniels has to do, I'm like, yo, this just looks weird, bro. You know what I'm
I
saying?
I, I think it continues to scream the fact that Tua deserved every bit of the money that he got.
Yeah.
Right, and
Now I'm
and
with
they went through three quarterbacks already this season: Skylar Thompson, Tyler Huntley, and I forgot the third one. They went through three quarterbacks.
you. Yeah. All right. Thursday night football, Bucks at Falcons. Falcons going on a 3. This is game 2 of 3 in their division run because after they will play Carolina. They still won at home. It's just crazy. I have to say that they stole one at home versus the Saints. Who you got in this Thursday night Bucks versus Falcons matchup?
I'm gonna take the Bucks, man. I'm done trying to continue to wait for Kurt to get it together as well as Kyle Pitts. And I'm even willing to go out on a limb and say at some point this season we're gonna see the backup quarterback. We're gonna see the rookie. We're gonna see them put him in. I don't know when. I'm not gonna
Um,
put no money on when that happens, but I do think eventually we're gonna see him get put in because I don't know, man. It's just not panning out to be what they thought it was. And I think Atlanta fans are gonna get impatient. You're gonna start hearing Michael Penix Jr. chants.
I'm gonna go with the Bucks also because even though like on a short week, I want to trust the Falcons at home, like with Bates and you know what I'm saying? Like I want to trust that defense, but I'm just like, yo, I just think on the other side of the ball, you're just gonna be outcoached.
Yeah.
I just think those and them on a short week, they're just gonna outcoach you. And I just don't think this is gonna be the matchup you want on a short week. And at first I had Atlanta splitting, but I don't like the looks of this. So I'm gonna take the Bucks also. And I also want to toot our horn because years ago people was calling us the dumbest two dudes, three dudes, four dudes in the world because we was telling people to pump their brakes on Kyle Pitts. And people just wasn't pumping their brakes on Kyle Pitts.
And
And we
not
was
man.
and we've been trying to tell, like, one, stop doing that to players, and two, we try to tell people what he was, and they just couldn't get over it. So yeah,
They put this dude as a top 5 tight end before he even took a snap in the NFL.
man,
They
you have to
put him
stop.
up there as a generational talent next to
Yeah,
Travis Kelsey.
yeah, like
No, man, come on.
you
No.
have to stop doing that stuff. Like people have to stop doing that stuff. So yeah, um, we're both going with the Bucks. I tried to argue for the Falcons. I tried to use the logic for the Falcons, and I'm just not liking where they are compared to. Yeah, I'm just not gonna try to buy this one with the Jets. So not gonna do it. Make sure that's cool. So where you at? You good? Where you at with this game?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's nothing about the Jets that I trust, especially after seeing what they did over the last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
There's just something. It looks like something's missing. Like you can tell, Aaron has been gone a year. You can tell he's had either a slow off season or I don't know, man. I just don't buy into what's happening with the Jets right now. It looks bad.
Yeah.
When Alan Lazard is your number one option, when you got Garrett Wilson on the same team, and what he did, what he was able to do with Zach Wilson last year, I don't
Yeah.
know, man. I just don't think either Garrett Wilson is not like that, or Aaron Rodgers' expectations of what he wants his receivers to do is just
I
too
think
high.
I think Aaron has one way he wants to play, same with Nat Hackett. And I just think that the team might be I don't think the team might be built the way that they want to play. Said I think Brees Hall and Braylon Allen should run you to every dub that you want to have, and I don't know if they're gonna run that way.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, man, I got to go with the Vikings. I think the Vikings stay perfect.
but next game, Panthers at Bears. You know me, I'm taking my Panthers to win this one. We got to get back in blood here. Offensively, I actually feel good about us on offense. Defense wise, from the looks of the Bears, I'm I'm gonna trust Severo, who just is going to be patient to hopefully let them make mistakes. Like that's where I'm at. But our D line is so bad, they're gonna have some time.
I
Not
think
taking
Chuba. I think Chuba continues to have a big year. I think he has a big game here.
yeah.
Um,
Been a beast, man. I'm proud of that guy's development because good lord, rookie
I'm gonna
year
go.
he
I'm gonna
had
go
us
with the Panthers too, man. I think the Panthers will win this one. I think they're winning by a field goal.
that I could take that. Ravens at Bengals. Very good matchup here. Bengals 1-3, Ravens 2-2. With the way that the Steelers are just set up record wise, we know this game could mean a lot down the line.
Hmm.
What you got with this Ravens Bengals game?
I'm taking the
Bengals
Ravens.
offense. You taking the Ravens?
Yeah, I trust the Ravens' control of the run game, and I trust the Ravens' defense way more than I trust what I've seen from Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, those guys. Like I don't know, man. The
Bengals
Bengals
defense
are a
is
tight
horrible.
end away from figuring it out, I think,
Yeah.
but I don't think they've hit a rhythm just yet.
Nah, the Bengals defense is horrible and it's not complimenting what they try to do on offense. So, which is crazy because they did play that really good game against the Chiefs, which I just think they be showing up for them. I'm going with the Ravens also. Said I'm gonna take the Ravens run game and defense to deal with the Bengals. So, we can go in and call this one a game of the week. Bills at Texans. Winner
Bills.
of this game is gonna get quarterback front runner MVP nods. Just off of record and vibes. So Texans, Bills at Texans. I'm going with the Texans. I think it's just difficult to be the Bills and to go on the road at Baltimore than to go right back on the road towards the Texans. The Texans on the corner wise, I don't feel like they've been up to the standard that I hope they would have been, but it's early. Bills, I think against better teams, they're gonna deal with the run game. So I'm going with the Texans to win this one.
Kind of on the fence, man. I like what I've seen from the Bills, but I think to your point, when the Bills play good teams, we see a lot of those holes. We see the lack of a superstar. We see the lack of like a go-to. I also think we start to see a lot of what makes Sean McDermott one of those guys that outcoaches himself.
Yeah.
He stops handing the ball to James Cook. He starts doing some of those things uncharacteristically, like he's done the last couple of years. And I think he does that against he does that against good teams. It's easy to ask Josh to go out there and throw the ball against not so great teams,
Yeah.
but when you run into the Ravens and you're going to get on the road against the Texans again, you got to stick to it, man. James Cook is your bread and butter, man. He sets up Josh Allen. Josh Allen doesn't do the opposite. So I'm gonna take the Texans on this one.
Colts at Jags. Is Dougie P fired like hell if he loses this game?
Hell yeah.
Are we wanting Dougie P to get fired or no?
Dougie P getting fired, man. Colts win this game.
Colts win.
Josh Downs coming
Forget.
back last week and showing why they said he was the best receiver in the offseason, coming back from his injury. Joe Flacco stealing, breaking the Steelers' hearts again on a whole nother team.
I don't know, man. I don't want Dougie P to get fired, even though I do know his time with Jacksonville is about to be done. I don't want it to be this week. So I'm gonna go with the Jags. Prolong it. Y'all saying you got the Colts. I'm gonna go with the Jags. All vibes. I've put so much into this T-Law Dougie P relationship, man. I'm gonna die on this hill.
I don't know, man. I think T. Law might have been with the one quarterback you were wrong about.
Man. So yeah, he's frustrated. It's crazy because these dudes actually visibly look worse. Like they look worse. T-Law, like a lot, like, and it's not like you can't defend it because you're like, no, bro, you really are the problem right now. So yeah. So the Soy is pro Dougie P fired. I'm anti Dougie P fired. Next week's thumbnail will be if Dougie P gets fired or not. He's gonna be the thumbnail on the next week's week 5 recap.
You're gonna see Dougie P's head just like on Jalen's is right now, sitting on Pablo, sitting on a swing.
Khan? What's his son? AEW. Who owns that? We're gonna
Tony
put him
Khan?
on. Yeah, we're gonna put him on something like that because they're gonna be hiring a new coach, and we'll just make some fun with that.
You're right.
We'll make some fun with that. Dolphins at Patriots. I'm going with the Patriots. They lose Jalen Phillips. Snoop is coming back. It's so bad that I'm gonna say that this week. I'm taking the Patriots.
They lost Jalen Phillips
Yeah.
again.
Yes, again.
Well, how did he get hurt?
I didn't
A
see. I
knee
just
injury?
seen it this morning. I think it was another
Oh
ACL.
my goodness, season-ending knee injury,
Yeah,
second year in a row. I feel for that dude.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Patriots too. Even if Jalen Phillips was playing, like I don't think it mattered, bro. Ramondre Stevens gonna have a big game. Yeah.
It's crazy. Browns at Commanders. I will not pick the Browns again. I'll tell you that much. I
I'm
will
taking the
not pick.
Commanders to cover.
Yeah, I will not pick the Browns again, but I am still very reserved on where I stand about the Commanders. Like they're on the line where I'm like, okay, you guys are a better team earlier than I expected, but I'm not gonna push that envelope with them. So we're both
Yeah,
going
nah.
Commanders. Raiders at Broncos. Yeah, I ain't falling for this trap game again. I'd rather be wrong picking the Broncos this time. Yeah, I'd rather be wrong picking the Broncos this time. I got the Raiders right last week. You came back and you did it. I'm going with the Broncos this week.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Broncos at home too. I think they start to figure it out with Javonte Williams. He hasn't had a big game this year yet, after
Yeah.
having a big season last year. So I think he figures it out against his Raiders defense.
Yeah. Cardinals at 49ers.
You know, this is always the 49ers trap game every year.
Yeah,
I'm still taking the 49ers.
I'm with you. Taking the 49ers. Yeah, I don't think this is going to be that case for them this year. So I'm going to take the 49ers to win. Packers at Rams.
I'm taking the Packers.
Do I want to trust Jordan Love? Nah, man, I'm going to go McVay. I'm going to trust McVay to have a clip for him. Yes, I'm going to trust McVay at home.
Yo,
There's some people who I'm going to trust. I'm going to trust McVay and Stafford to figure something out.
damn. If Jair plays, I think if Jair plays last week, they win that game.
Nah, you're right. I forgot about him. Hopefully he's not out.
No Cooper Cup,
God.
no Puka.
I'm pulling the jumper on this one. I'm pulling the jumper on the
Dang.
Rams. I'm
I'm
pulling
going
the
with the
jumper on
Packers.
the Rams. Yeah. Giants at Seahawks.
Seahawks whoop that ass.
I'm with you on that one. I am with you on that one. This will start the demise of Dayball, unfortunately. Somebody's gonna get a hell of OC.
Mm-hmm.
Cowboys at Steelers, Sunday Night Football.
I'm taking the Steelers.
Ooh. Go with the Steelers too.
No
I'm
Micah.
gonna rock.
No
Yeah.
Micah. I like the Steelers defense way more than I like the Cowboys offense. Cowboys ain't got no running back. I think Rico McDowell, Ezekiel Elliott, Deuce Vaughn, they trying to figure out who their running back is. They was either talking about elevating Dalvin Cook from the practice squad. Nah, I'm going with the Steelers.
I'm bored with the Steelers too. And Monday Night Football, Saints at Chiefs. Taking the Saints. I'm taking the Saints.
Oh.
This is not the secondary to play with. Like, I don't think people understand that. This is not the secondary to play with. I like the matchup for the Saints. I really do.
I thought if the Saints were at home, I'd take them easily. But you know what? You might make me a believer, bro.
I really like the matchup of the Saints to the Chiefs at this current moment. No Rice. Kelsey could do his thing. The Saints defensively can match and maybe overwhelm what they like to do. And offensively, as long as they just stay honest with the run game and Kamara and get it moving, I think they can find them. I think Shaheed is gonna can cause a problem. I just think this might be wrong place, wrong time for the Chiefs. They've been limping. The Chiefs have been limping the dubs, which is a great thing. I like this matchup with the Saints. I'm gonna pull a jumper on the Saints here.
I think if I had to pull a jumper, it would probably be this one.
Like, if I really had to say who do I think could really win from an underdog, I would take the Saints.
I'm with you. I'm gonna take the Saints too.
So, all right, that's it for the Week 5 picks. Let's run through these power rankings real quick. See if we can make this power rankings list real fast of where we stand with teams. Power rankings list, y'all, is not a standings list. Just because you have a better record, don't mean we think you are a better team. So we got a list up that we can keep track of this.
Yep, I got it on the screen.
All right, let's see if we can make this as quick and as easy as possible, with at least some of the other parts. Jags at the bottom because they ain't got to win. You ain't got to win 4 weeks in. You can't be over any other team. We're not finna do that.
So Jags at the bottom.
Yep. You can't be 0-4 and be over other teams. That's just one we're not gonna allow.
They are number 32.
32. Number 1, you could go ahead and do the Chiefs.
Chiefs number 1. Number 2. We're going with the Vikings.
Yeah, we could go Vikings.
3.
Are
we believers in the Bills?
So here, let me
in the Steelers, the Seahawks.
Do this top 9, and then we could run back. Chiefs, Vikings, Ravens, Texans, Bills.
Bills at 4.
Bills at 5.
Who's 4?
It should be Texans.
Oh, Texans.
Lions, 49ers, Bucks, Seahawks,
49ers.
and then put Commanders at 10.
Bucks.
And then over the Jags.
Seahawks. Who's number 10? Commanders?
Yeah, just put Commanders at 10.
And then 11.
Go to the bottom. Can we go to the bottom?
Yeah.
You could put Carolina, Arizona, New England. At least so we can have them in front of us, and then we can see where changes need to be made.
29. What else are we putting down there? We're putting the Rams down there or not? I think we can put the Giants down there first.
All right. Pats. 8. Dolphins got to go down there too right now.
Yeah.
Titans got to go down there too right now.
27.
Raiders. Are Raiders closer to the bottom for you?
Yeah, definitely.
Broncos.
Broncos. Who else should we have down there?
Who else?
So from 25 to 32, I got Broncos, Raiders, Titans, Dolphins, Giants, Pats, Panthers, Jags.
All right.
We still got a 1-3 Cardinals team. We got a 2-2 Colts team, 1-3 Browns team.
Yeah, just go ahead and put those 3 right there then in the next 3 spots.
Browns, Colts, and Cardinals.
Browns, Colts, Cardinals,
now
Browns,
we're
Colts.
21 to 11.
Set the Bengals at 21 for me.
Bengals. Team. 17.
I feel like we're missing somebody.
Damn, I think the Steelers got to be higher on the 10 list.
Yeah, Steelers can go to 15 for me. You know, we can always make Mike Tomlin the line.
15?
You know, Mike Tomlin can just be the line just
at
off
3-1.
Yeah, just at the line. He just at the line. You know what I'm saying? I feel like it'd be easier to put them there, and then we can kind of gauge from there. Because, like, I'm looking at the Colts and the Bengals, and I feel like right now the Colts should be over the Bengals. And at least the Steelers can play the line for us right now.
So the Colts should be over the Bengals?
Yes.
So I'm going to move Bengals to 23?
I would take the Bengals over the Cardinals. So I just think moving the Colts to 21, Bengals 22, Cardinals 23.
So now we can plug and play with like who
Okay, so where's the Falcons and the Saints? Are they over or under the Steelers?
they're both under.
They're
I think
both
16,
under.
70. Yeah, 16, 17.
Yeah, you go right under the 16 and 17. Saints and then Falcons. Then where's the Cowboys and the Eagles?
Cowboys, I think, are at 18. Damn, honestly, I'd probably put the Eagles at 16 and then move
So
the
then the
Saints and the
Steelers
Falcons down.
and then the Steelers will move up to 14.
Yeah.
Cool.
Cowboys, I almost want to put them at 18 under the Falcons.
I got Cowboys over the Falcons.
Over the Falcons, under the Saints.
Yes.
Browns already on there.
I was just
Dolphins,
trying to figure out
Bengals.
who we're missing. Where's the Jets? Jets
Ooh.
ain't on there, are they?
Nah, Jets are 20. I'd put them at 20, above the Colts, below everyone else.
Taking the Colts over the Jets.
Damn, Colts over the Jets?
Yes.
Jets fall to 21.
That's the only team right now that I say I think at least deserves to be over the Jets.
So we don't have the Bears on there yet.
Is the Bears over the Jets?
No.
They're under?
I think the Bears are under the Bengals.
So I would right now you got the Cardinals under the Bengals under the Cardinals, right?
Yeah.
I would do the Bengals over the Cardinals, but the Bears over the Cardinals also. I don't feel like they can go over the Jets and the Colts right now. But it's group right there, so I'm not going to be picky about it because they'll be right there with each
You
other.
got the Cardinals over the Bengals?
No, I have the Bengals over the Cardinals.
Bengals. And then the Bears under both of them, right?
I would have the Bears over the Cardinals, but under the Bengals.
There we go. Who are we missing? We're missing 3 teams. We're missing the Pats. Oh no, the Pats are 30.
I'm taking the Broncos over the Browns right now. I don't feel like they've earned that, and I feel like we should you know what I'm saying. Even though it's nitpick, I'm just looking at some nitpick stuff right now, at least towards the bottom.
Is there 32 teams? There's 32 teams, right?
Yes. So who are the 3 we're missing? Packers.
Oh, the Packers.
Packers is 1.
Packers definitely under
I
the
can't
Steelers.
Yeah. So Steelers go up. I feel like now it's safe to move the Steelers to 11.
Packers over the Eagles?
You said who? Packers?
Yeah.
I'm not.
Packers over the Saints? I think so.
No, I don't think I would put them over the Saints. I'm not gonna argue with either though.
No, I'm gonna move them. I'm gonna move them down. We put the Rams on here? We haven't even put the Rams on here.
Rams got to go lower then.
Rams got to be down there with like below the Cardinals.
Off the strength of McVay, I wouldn't let the Rams go under the Titans.
So
If you want to move him lower, I'm not going to really argue it, but just off of McVay, I would be like 26 seems about right.
Under the Raiders?
Under right there, like I would put them over the Raiders.
That puts them under the Browns still.
I kind of would put them over the Browns too.
That puts them under the Broncos, under the Cardinals, under the Bears, under the Bengals.
Yeah.
Just over the Browns.
So we're missing 12 and 13.
No, we should be good. We should be in a better place after this. 30, 31, 2. Wait a minute. I gotta renumber it right here. 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 19, 20. There we go. 6, 7, 8, 29, 30, 31. We're missing one team.
Who are we missing?
Got the Lions. Who else is on a bye week? The Chargers.
Oh, yeah. So my starting point for the Chargers will be the Jets-Bengals.
Yeah, that's actually exactly where I was looking too. So I moved everybody up one. So Eagles up one. Saints. Packers. Cowboys.
Yeah, Chargers under the Colts over the Jets looks about right to me, at least on that part.
All right. What looks off? What needs correcting?
Top 5. I think Texas can go over the Ravens for right now. But outside of that, yeah. And you know what? I think the Lions can go. The Lions should be a top 5 team also.
Who gets out of the top 5 though? Because I don't think the Lions are top 5. I think they're right where they need to be.
In theory,
I also don't think the Niners are top 10.
You don't think the Niners are top 10?
Nah, I'd move them right above the Eagles, right below the Steelers.
I'm keeping them there off the name of Shanahan. Like, that's the reason why I kept them there.
I can't do that, because if I do that for them, I got to do it for everybody else.
All right, let's move it for right now, see what it looked like. I ain't against it. I just was like, I feel like, Shanahan, you get cussed out for having him too low. So I would do that for now. We will come back week 8 and revisit this and change as it needs to be adjusted.
Just because if we're moving off the name alone, Tomlin got to be higher than 10.
Yeah.
McVay got to be higher than, where's he at? 24.
So you got Bills a top 5 team, Lions 6. Ravens, they already only like 500 team in there, but I felt like you lose to the Chiefs and you drop a game to the Raiders that you probably wouldn't drop again. So that's why I still have them up there.
Maybe the Ravens could be bumped out down to 6 and the Lions up to 4.
I would do that. I would do that. I do feel like the Lions earn the respect to be a top 5 team because their only other loss is to another team in the top 10.
Because, I mean, it's more than just record, right? It's like...
Yeah, we are looking at everything. It's just first week.
Happy with it?
Steelers, 49ers, Eagles, Saints, Packers, Cowboys, Falcons, Colts, Chargers. Bears, Cardinals, Broncos. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Not even gonna try to be too picky about it. I think kind of everybody is grouped in place where they should be at. So the big question: who in the top 10 when we come back to this by week 8 will not be in the top 10?
Commanders.
Let's have a quick look at the Commander schedule.
Commanders schedule. Let me put that on the screen. Cleveland, Baltimore, Carolina, Chicago, New York. You said by week 8?
Yeah, we will revisit at week 8. So
Damn. They could potentially go 3-1.
yeah.
Maybe they are still there in the top 10.
Yeah, they do got a nice little run there. With that schedule, even at 2-2, like it would still put them in a really good place. You know what I'm saying? But I also know we're trying to judge the team too. So I'm comfortable with them being where they are now, but I'm with you. I think they might slip a little lower by the time we come back. So, all right. Who in the bottom 24 and under is moving up?
Nobody.
Got nobody?
24 and down? Nah.
Rams, Browns,
Puka ain't gonna
Raiders.
be healthy for a minute. Cooper ain't gonna be healthy for a minute. There's no one down there. I mean, Raiders is trying to get rid of their number one receiver. Will Levis, it just ain't it.
That's
Dolphins
the thing,
without
though, man,
Tua.
is the Titans have been in every game, even with Will. And with Miami, it's like, yo, if Tua comes back and they just get back on course, these are two teams who can just like steal a couple.
I mean, I see that, but we're also talking about just a week 8. You know what I mean? Like, Titans got a bye week next week. Then they got Indianapolis, Buffalo, Detroit.
That's 3 teams above them. They go 2-1 in a convincing way.
I think they lose all 3.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Right? Like,
That's what I'm saying.
and if we look at
But
the
2-1
Dolphins,
over the
Tua's
next 3
gone for
after a
another
bye
what,
is a
2
good
weeks?
start.
Tua's gone for what, 2-3 weeks?
2 more. They said at least 2 more.
Yeah,
So,
I don't know, man. Over the
who
next couple of
in
weeks, they got New England this week, Indianapolis next week, and then Arizona the following week. Then Tua maybe comes back against Buffalo again.
got you? Who from the mid tier is rising up
Um,
from the 11 through 20 range, 23
11 through
range?
20. The Niners are real bleak, man, especially with the
CMC out.
CMC out pretty much all year. Um, the Saints, man, I think the Saints got a real good chance of continuing to move up. Obviously, I feel like the Eagles need to get it. They need to get healthy first. This bye week, this week is going to be huge for them.
Tell you too, I know we both picked the Steelers, but if the Cowboys do drop this game, they're gonna start to drop.
Oh yeah, they'll be down there near the
Yeah,
18 to 21 range, 18 to 22.
yeah.
But the two teams that stand out to me from 11 to 20 is probably the Eagles and the Saints.
I like the Saints, but I also like the Colts and the Chargers. I know Chargers coming off the bye week should be getting more healthy.
Yeah.
I think they'll definitely evolve and grow from where they're at. And then the Colts, said still 2-2, still trucking along, still making it a fight towards the end, and just how they can go forward with AR.
Another one
So,
outside looking in that I think will make a big move, especially now that they're healthy, is the Packers. Packers defense
yep.
can't be slept on, man. They
Yeah, no,
causing
for sure.
turnovers every single game, regardless of who's out there. So the
Bet.
Packers are another one I think we got to look at making a big move up over the next 4 weeks.
Got you. All right. That is our power rankings list. We'll say that, revisit it week 8, and get a good look at how we feel. So, is there anything else before we get out of here?
Nope.
Nope. Neither for me. Y'all know we'll be back on Wednesdays, ready to chop it up. NBA will be starting up here soon. We got some preseason games coming there soon. I literally forgot DeJounte Murray was on the Pelicans. I forgot Paul George was on the 76ers. I forgot a lot of this stuff. The NBA seems like this has just been the longest offseason ever for me. So I'm having to go back and rehash some of these moves and where they feel, where I really feel about them. But I'm ready. I know it's gonna be. We got starting tomorrow, 55 days straight of football on TV. So
Yes, sir.
it's gonna be a good time. It's gonna be a good time. So I'm Vita. That's Soy. Thank y'all for rocking with us, y'all. We out of here. See y'all back here next Wednesday. We out.
Because if you ain't the bloodline,
Bloodline.
you ain't
You ain't anybody.